Are you tired of job hunting for tech sales roles only to find dead-end jobs, layoffs, unrealistic quotas? In this video, I'm gonna be showing you the best tech companies to work for in 2024 and tips on how to land roles to where you'll be able to make 250K plus within your first 2 to 3 years. Now, for those of you who may be skeptical, I've helped over a dozen people do this over the last year, and I recently helped a friend who was a bartender who just made a career transition into sales, into tech sales, that is. She got a role at a top cybersecurity company making 95K OTE plus stock compensation. This is a publicly traded company, it's not a startup either, so it's a pretty good opportunity for her, especially as it being her first role. And throughout this video, I'm gonna be sharing strategies on job searching, interview prepping, multi-threading, that will make you stand out from all your competition and all the other applicants out there, because there's gonna be hundreds of them, guys, that will guarantee you your first job in tech sales. Okay, large companies up first. I'm looking at Google here, which you can see on my screen. One thing I'm noticing is a consistent over-attainment when it comes to quotas. If we start looking at the SMB account executives and the SDRs and the mid-market, those are gonna be more of your entry-level roles. Specifically, is gonna be an SDR. So that's what I want y'all to focus on here. They're all over 50% across the board. The one nice thing about that that's encouraging is that as you get promoted, the opportunity and the likelihood of you hitting your quota looks like it's gonna be reasonably high. Obviously things change year to year, but that's something to be mindful of, and that's a very good sign, especially at a large company like Google, who's 10,000 employees plus. Job search tip number 1, never apply blindly, okay? Always prospect into the company, okay? You're gonna reach out and connect with the recruiter, the sales manager, and a peer of yours. So maybe another SDR, because that's realistically what you're gonna be applying for within an entry-level role, okay? And then reach out to them. Number 1, connect with them on LinkedIn, but also reach out to them via email. Send a message like this, okay? Personalize it and exude some positive energy and curiosity. And most times than not, guys, you're gonna be able to get that meeting with them, okay? The second thing I would do, bonus tip here, is whenever you have an interview with that sales manager, if you get to that second step or that third step, wherever that is, ask this one question. Out of all your recent hires that you've hired, who's been the most successful hire and what's made them a home run of a hire? Second company on the list, mid-sized company, 5,000 employees and higher. We're looking at Datadog here. And one thing that really stands out to me, if we're looking at the SDR, is the median OTE is 70K. That's quite a bit on the lower end, especially to what we're seeing now. Now I'm seeing a lot of more, 90K, give or take, even 100K. We were just looking at the Google example. That was 120, 130K OTE. So this is a little bit on the lower end, and they're at 51% quota attainment. Nothing that's, overly exciting. And I'm looking at the SMB account executives, and they're struggling. They're at 23%. So it's just an interesting dynamic. It could be different across the board. There are mid-sized companies who are at similar levels to Google when it comes to quota attainment. But those are alarming signals there, and something to be mindful of as you kind of look at this. This is below the industry average, and probably best to look at other mid-sized companies that have not only better OTEs, but also better percentages of quota attainment. Now, second tip here, do not spray and pray. Do not just apply to as many companies as you want, 20 to 30, and think, oh man, I did a great job today, 20 to 30 companies. No. Put together a Google sheet, okay? Pick 10 companies, maybe 15. Be very targeted with your approach, guys. Like I said, you need a multi-thread, find those 3 contacts, okay? And then put together a list and start considering, what do you really value the most? For me personally, I look at the leadership. What's the leadership in place? How credible are they? What's that credibility look like for them? What are the opportunities for growth within that company? If I over-exceed, am I gonna be getting opportunities for promotions? Will I be in line for that? And then third is the culture. What kind of people are there? What kind of things are they incentivizing? And I'll literally, scale that on a scale of 1 to 5, and I'll run that through, and I stack rank those companies. But be very targeted when you do this, guys. Put together a Google sheet of those 10 to 15 companies, stack rank them, and then go from there. Do not spray and pray. Third tip, share your wins. So for example, I obviously had a previous sales role, so I shared my wins when it came to generated pipeline, actual closed deals, meetings set. I shared that with the sales manager. Now, not everybody's gonna have the luxury of sharing that. So what you could do is, if you're a student, share personal projects that you did really well on, that you exceeded on. Or if you're coming from another career, maybe you were a bartender, maybe you led that restaurant or that company in sales for that particular month. Maybe you had really good customer service reviews on Yelp or what have you. Share those wins and make sure they're aligned to this specific role that you're applying for. Third company on the list, startup, under 2,000 employees. We're looking at Cribble, okay? And there's a lot of really good things that stand out here. I'm looking at the 3 roles that they show here on RepView, which I'm gonna link in the description below. And the SDRs are crushing it. It's a 90K OTE, that's average, but 78% are actually hitting their quota here. One other thing to call out about startups is the opportunities for growth tend to be higher compared to larger companies. Typically because obviously it's a smaller company, but you get more visibility and recognition, which is a really good thing. So those opportunities for promotions are typically there. So that's always a nice, encouraging thing to think about. Now, another thing to kind of notice here, guys, is the product fit. The product fit here, they're 4.7 on this scale, is something else that you really need to be mindful of, okay? You wanna look at, as I mentioned, right, the company, the leadership, the opportunities for growth, the culture, but you also do wanna look at the product you're gonna be selling. You can be a great salesperson, have all the techniques and know how to talk to people, but have an absolute garbage product, and you're not gonna do very well. That's just the truth of it. You can ask any seasoned salesperson that's a VP level, CRO, they're gonna tell you, you do need to have strong product market fit. That is important. So definitely take note of that. Fourth tip, this is a job interview tip. Whenever your interviewer asks you a specific question on how you do something, maybe how do you prospect? Yeah, I do X, Y, and Z, LinkedIn, cold calling, whatever. You're obviously gonna have a lot better of an answer than that. But follow up with, if you don't mind me asking, are you noticing the same within your teams? And then let them answer, and then say, what are your best reps doing? Are they doing anything differently? That's gonna show them that you're very curious and you wanna learn, right? It's a great trait to have, especially as an SDR. The 5th tip, send a thank you note to each person that you interview with, okay? Simple thank you note, just like this. Simple, don't make it long. They don't even necessarily need to respond, but them noticing that you were thankful for that interview is gonna go a long way. So guys, go ahead and give these tips a shot. Let me know how it goes. Give me some feedback, provide some comments on maybe certain things that you're coming across right now. More than happy to hear those out. Feel free to even book a call with me. There's no charge there. I'm more than happy to be of service and share my experiences, tactical strategies that you can implement right now throughout your job searching and interview process. More than happy to help. Hope this was valuable, and we'll see you on the next one. Thanks, guys.